Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy, the Handmade Homeschooler, and today we are going to talk about part 2 of my weight loss journey, which is the stuff I actually did to lose all the weight. So this is the very highly requested video, and we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of it. So if it's your first time here, I wanted to say welcome. Make sure that you hit the like and the subscribe button, and down below in the description box I have my free homeschooling group that you are always welcome to join. If you need a homeschooling community or just some friends, come on over, we would love to have you. So if you saw part 1 of my video, which I will leave down below in the description box, then you know that I weighed 210 pounds after I had my son, and I was desperate. I mean, just desperate to lose all of this weight. But at the same time, I had been trying to lose weight my entire life, and I did not know what to do or where to even start with all of this. So in the last video, I told you guys of how I tipped the scales at 210 pounds after I had my son, and how I knew I needed to kick everything into high gear and lose all of this weight. I was pre-diabetic, I had a brand new baby, and this was bad. I was in a bad situation health-wise, and I knew that if I did not lose this weight, I was going to eat myself into an early grave. So I was at this place of, what do I do? And I talked to my doctor, and I got a physical, and I was healthy and cleared for exercise and weight loss. So that's the first thing that I did. And before you do anything, guys, this is kind of just a disclaimer, make sure that you talk to your doctor, talk to your physician about your weight. If you are healthy enough for exercise, make sure you always talk to your doctor first. I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist or anything like that. This is only what worked for me, and I can only tell you what worked for me, and I cannot tell you if any of this stuff will work for you. So disclaimer. So I got my weight and my I knew what my BMI numbers were, and I know that there's a lot of controversy around that, but honestly, I used those numbers to help me figure out where I needed to be, and that was a good indicator of just a general idea of where I wanted to be, and it helped me set realistic goals. So I finally bought a scale, and I hadn't had a scale ever in my entire life up until this point, and I decided I was going to hold myself accountable every single week, and that I was going to weigh in on the same day every single week, which happened to be Monday for me. So Mondays were going to be my new weigh-in day, and I got a piece of paper and I tacked it on the wall in my bathroom above my scale, and I put my starting weight, and then I labeled weeks 1 all the way down through like 30 or 50, and I was going to fill in the number that I was, and I was going to own that number every single week. Whether I liked it or not, I was going to own it. And actually this helped motivate me a lot. I know it's so simple, but just seeing that number every time that I walked into the bathroom was a reminder to stay on track. And I liked having that. I'm a very goal-oriented person just naturally. So for me, seeing that, it was a motivating type of thing for me. So I knew one of the first things I needed to do was to get my eating under control. That was going to be the biggest battle. And honestly, for me, still to this day, eating is my biggest battle. I could work out all day, every day, and I would be a happy camper. I actually really enjoy working out. Working out's not a problem for me. The problem for me is eating, and that was something I was never, I guess I didn't know how to properly eat. And I know that that sounds really silly, but I think a lot of people don't know how to do this, and they don't realize it. So the problem for me was I had no idea what a portion size should look like for me. I had no idea what the healthy things for me to eat and the portion sizes of those for my body at that time were. So I needed to basically learn how to eat. That sounds so silly, but seriously, you guys, do not skip this step. Learn how to eat. If you do not know how to eat, if you do not know what a portion size looks like for you and your body, learn how to eat. Look it up, seriously. What I did was I actually joined Weight Watchers, and I know y'all are gonna hate me down at the bottom. Just keep your comments to yourself if you don't like Weight Watchers, but Honestly, for me, this was such a useful tool to teach me how to eat correct portion sizes. It taught me how to cook. It taught me the foods that were good for me, and it taught me portion sizes, which is what I needed to know more than anything else, was how much should I be eating at certain times of the day. Weight Watchers taught me how to do that. And to this day, I still use a lot of the same tools that I used back then to help me maintain my weight. And I'm sorry whether, you know, a lot of people hate Weight Watchers, you know, a lot of people hate diets and things like that. But you know what? I wouldn't have lost the weight if I hadn't done that, and I wouldn't have kept it off if I didn't still do it today. So it works. I am one of the big losers on Weight Watchers, and I absolutely loved Weight Watchers. I did the online program. I did not go to meetings or anything like that. When I did Weight Watchers back then, they had just started the online program, and I think I paid like $15 a month for it, and it was the best $15 I ever spent. I bought some of their cookbooks, and I used all kinds of recipes online, and they have like an app and a calculator where you can actually go in and you can actually scan different foods now and find out how many points they are. Now, Weight Watchers today doesn't look like it did back then, and there's like different plans and things like that, but it's the same concept. So if you're looking for something to teach you how to eat, that was my tool. So I absolutely loved it. Another thing that I did was I set a realistic goal, and I wasn't able to set a realistic goal for a couple of weeks into me working out and eating properly because I wasn't sure what a realistic goal for me was. So once I started kind of mellowing out a little bit and I started getting into a groove, I noticed 2 pounds a week was my normal. So I set a goal of 2 pounds a week. I wanted to lose at least 1.5 pounds, but I really wanted to lose 2. So 2 was a maintainable goal for me, and actually I lost 2 pounds a week for over 50 weeks. And it wasn't until those last couple of months where it got really hard because it was like the last 5 or 10 pounds. But I can explain to you guys what I did to lose those stubborn last couple of pounds later on as well. But for the bulk of my weight loss, 2 pounds a week, it just really just melted off. The next thing I did was I started working out, and I worked out 5 days a week. And I started out small. So you have to start out, especially if you are coming off of a pregnancy or you haven't worked out a day in your life like me. I hadn't worked out a day in my life until I started this. Start small. I started with the Biggest Loser Bootcamp videos, and I believe you can actually get those on YouTube now, but the one that I had, I don't think is on YouTube, but I did buy it on Amazon, and I got the DVD, and it came to my house, and I did this thing 5 to 6 days a week, sometimes 7, just because I got really motivated, and I was one of those people, I just really started to enjoy working out, and when you enjoy working out, you do it more. So this became like a thing for me that I loved, and I still love to work out. It gave me that shot of endorphins, and it just made my day so much better. And I still find that when I work out, I am in such a better mood. I don't know what it is. It's gotta be the endorphins. But I started out small, and I built myself up to where when I first started, I was only working out for about 20 minutes. And then when I was losing a lot of the weight, and then in the bulk of my journey, when I was really kicking it into high gear, I was working out for about 60 minutes at a time. And that is everything from, you know, the longer DVDs. Like back then I was doing a lot of Bob Harper workouts, and his workouts were about 45 to 60 minutes a piece. And I really enjoyed these workouts. There was strength, there was total body, there was abs, there was lower body. I mean, so many different types, but mainly cardio and strength were the two things that he likes to combine together. And I found that that actually really worked for me, and the pounds just started melting off. So by the time I got to about 50 weeks of this, I had lost 100 pounds, and I could not believe it. My family and I had moved to Japan at this time, and I went from, you know, being 200 pounds, I went all the way down to a size 4. I had never been under a size 10 in my entire adult and adolescent life. And for the first time, I was wearing size 4 jeans, and I could not believe it. Just thinking back to those days where I was, you know, crying in a dressing room because of the numbers that I was looking at. And then to have size 4 jeans, it was like a fairy tale. Like, I could not believe that this was my life. And when I put those on, it was just like, this is who I am now. I cannot believe this. And so many things changed at that point in my life. And I even applied to be on the Joy Luck Fit Club on the Today Show, and I was actually a finalist, and I didn't get picked because I was in Japan at the time. I still watch and do all of his DVDs in the morning to this day. Like, I actually did his DVD this morning for my cardio workout. So I still use his DVDs, they still work for me. And if you don't know who Bob Harper is, he's one of the trainers from the Biggest Loser TV show. I lost my weight right along with him and, you know, didn't gain it back. I've been able to maintain that weight, and actually maintaining is what I'm going to be talking about in the next video in this series. So I'm going to be talking about how I have kept off all of this weight for the last 10 plus years, and honestly, keeping it off is the hardest part. Believe it or not. A lot of people think losing the weight is the hard part. It's not. It's keeping it off after everything, because you have to keep yourself from reverting back to old habits. So that's all I have for this installment of my weight loss journey. I hope that you guys are able to take away some good tips to help you, and, you know, just some advice, you know, friend to friend, just some things that you can do and implement in your own life as well. And if you guys want to, you can follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of my fitness and healthy recipes and things like that over there on my Instagram, and I'm always doing something physical. My favorite thing right now is my spin bike. I love, love, love my spin bike. So I hope I will see you guys over there on my Insta. All right, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.